What is up, guys? Back here with another video. In today's video we are going to be going over the Pokemon Roaring Moon and all of its competitive sets, as well as where you can find it at the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this kind of content, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to check out Patreon if you guys would like to support me beyond YouTube. Make sure to check out Twitch if you guys would like to catch my streams live, where I do Terra raids, VGC, a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, guys, I appreciate the support as always, and let's get right into it. The first Roaring Moon set that we're going to be going over is the Choice Band set. The Choice Band Roaring Moon set is an incredibly strong set that allows it to deal as much damage as possible, pretty much just letting it go crazy against a lot of opposing Pokemon and hitting them for a bunch of damage. Now, this set does run Iron Head, and the main reason why is because it does terrestrialize into a Steel type. What this allows Salamence to do, or not Salamence, I guess, Roaring Moon to do, I might call it Salamence a few times by accident, sorry in advance. What it allows it to do is just get a stab Iron Head to check a lot of things that otherwise would threaten it. So for example, Flutter Mane. In our previous Flutter Mane video, we had actually talked about how a lot of people would click Steel moves into Flutter Mane and how Flutter Mane could change into Fire type. Well, it works the same for Salamence. Salamence can change into a Steel type and use that to counter opposing Flutter Mane and hit them with Iron Head. And the Steel typing is actually really nice for Roaring Moon as well, especially because you do retain your your stab for Dragon Claw and Crunch. Now, a question that some of you might have watching this is, why not Jaw Lock? So Jaw Lock is an exclusive move to Roaring Moon that pretty much traps in both the user and the opponent's Pokemon when you use it. General same base power as Crunch. The reason why that's not good is because in a lot of situations of VGC, you don't really want to be trapped in. So being trapped in a double battle is actually really detrimental, and you don't have any flexibility. Whereas if you go for a Crunch, you're not necessarily trapped the next turn, and you have the chance of a defense drop anyways, which is still pretty nice. As well too, Dragon Claw is better because it's a less committal version of any other move that you would go for. No risk of missing, and you still hit for a good chunk of damage. Obviously, Iron Head's consistent, and then U-turn allows you to pivot. So what you can do is, if you think that they're going to swap out, anticipating a Roaring Moon hit going into one of their slots, you can click U-turn into that slot, punish them for it, and you get a lot of pressure out of that. So overall, this set does allow you to keep up the pace in terms of momentum really heavily. This one is less reliant on kind of staying in the field consistently. You're consistently outputting damage, U-turning out, coming back in, doing the same thing all over again, and that's what you're doing with this set. For the second Roaring Moon set, we actually have an Acrobatic set. Now, you guys might be like, what? Acrobatics? But, like, no Crunch? Now, the reasoning for this is because you can terrestrialize, right? So, essentially, the concept is that you're terrestrializing into the Flying type, so you get a really powerful Acrobatics. Now, that combined with the Booster Energy is giving you a 30% boost to your attack. You're also getting Acrobatics, which is 110 base power, and you're terrestrializing, which is giving that move Stab, which gives you an incredibly strong flying move. Now, you do have to sacrifice your dark coverage for this, which can also kind of be a detriment in some cases. So this only works on very specific teams. Now, what does this give Salamence Roaring Moon over the other Choice Band set or other sets it can run? So pretty much what this set does a little bit better is this set can break through stuff like a Moongus, Brute Bonnet, those kind of Pokemon really easily. Specifically more so Moongus, because Brute Bonnet you can really just U-turn it with the band set and break through it. Also, Acrobatics just hits a lot more things neutrally. Flying is just really strong coverage, so you can kind of leverage that to be really annoying for opponents. Now, this set as well is also carrying Dragon Dance, which allows you to boost, and the difference between this and the band set is it's basically more kind of built around positioning your Roaring Moon in a way where you can kind of get it set up with some Dragon Dances, then start going on the offense against your opponent, right? So this one's a lot more position based, and this one's a lot more about getting yourself in the right position to stack those boosts to really destroy your opponent. And obviously this one is going to be utilizing Protect, since we have the slot for that, and that's kind of the main utilization that you can get out of this set from Roaring Moon. So for this final Roaring Moon set, it's actually going to be a Life Orb set that's utilizing its two main stabs, Crunch and Dragon Claw. So for this specific set, you would actually want to utilize a terrestrialization of the Dark type. You could potentially justify Dragon type, but I feel like the Dark type makes a lot more sense. You could technically also just go with Steel and literally just be like, well, you know, like, I don't want to be weak to Flutter Mane. I want to have a way to at least counterplay it where I can change my type into something that can't be hit. So that's a possibility as well. It is something that you can do if you see the need to do so, or that feels best. I think that that's a very valid option that you can opt for with this Roaring Moon. But in general, this set is just so that you can set Tailwind for your team, and obviously you have the ability to pressure with Crunch or Dragon Claw, pretty much just being able to output the damage that you want with Life Orb, but having the flexibility to click Tailwind and click Protect when you need to. So it pretty much combines the Acrobatic set and Choice Band set a little bit, because you pretty much take away your extra attacks that the Choice Band set has access to and give yourself a little bit more flexibility like the Acrobatic set has, but like you're the more flexible version of both and what they're trying to accomplish. Like Tailwind is helping your team instead of like Dragon Dance having to boost yourself consistently. So Tailwind basically lets you click Tailwind, swap out, be less committal to having the set up, right? And it also is less committal like Band is into clicking one move. You can alternate between your moves and utilize Protect, so you're not as exposed. So pretty much you kind of get like the all-in-one package, but the obviously the like the trade-off is pretty much what the benefits of the other two sets are, right? So overall, I would say this set is pretty strong as well, especially because it gives you speed control. The only thing that you need to be cautious with is pretty much like your coverage and what you're dealing with. If, for example, you're playing versus something that you would normally have coverage to deal with on like the Band set or with the flying coverage on the Acrobatic set, that could make a difference. So you want to make sure that you're being conscious of that and knowing how you're building your team around Roaring Moon to make sure it can function properly. Besides that, I think this is a very flexible set. It can be utilized in a lot of different situations, and it's definitely one to consider when you're building with Roaring Moon. Okay, so we are down in the third base, second furthest from the bottom of the map, and I'm gonna guide you guys to where you can actually find a Roaring Moon of your own. So Roaring Moon won't always spawn there, obviously, you know, it's always probability. Mine also might not spawn because I did grab one there earlier, so, you know, that could obviously change whether or not another one spawns for me, but this is the location where it spawns because I quite literally grabbed one from here. So you guys will see there's this little, like, space in the rocks that you can run through, and over here, there'll be a bunch of Pokemon that are spawning. If you want to make it more likely that you'll find Roaring Moon specifically and kind of cut out all these extra Pokemon, you can use a sandwich that'll give you a better chance, first off, a better chance for shinies, and also make dragons more attracted to you and like spawn more often. And the combination for that sandwich that you would use would be 2 salty Herba Mysticas and an avocado. And that you would literally just need 1 of the avocado and then 2 of the Herba Mysticas, and here we go. We have a Salamence right here. This is where you would catch, or not Salamence, Roaring Moon. This is where you would catch a Roaring Moon, spawns right here. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys would like to support the channel, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys would like to see in the future. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.